Finding Frankie. You're seeing it right now on the screen.
Ooh, hardcore horror parkour.
Exactly. Parkourer, if you will. So this is Finding Frankie. I played it on the PS5. This is a parkour horror game. And essentially, that's what they, as at least marketed as. Essentially, Drix, this is a puzzle platformer.
Yeah, when it gets down to brass tacks, huh?
Yeah, when it gets down to brass tacks, a puzzle platformer that kind of tries to act as a double as a sort of speed run style game. As you can see in the bottom left hand corner of the gameplay, there is a timer. So the game is always timing you. The timer is inconsequential. That's why I say it lends itself more to speed running and that kind of enthusiast gameplay style, because honestly, you're gonna see one of the clips here. It's towards the end of the game, and you're gonna see like it's around 80 minutes, 83 minutes. But it's an interesting game, I will say, because I didn't find the timer to be consequential. It's a rather straightforward game, but I do think the one thing that Finding Frankie lacks, Drix, and the thing that it's marketed on primarily, is the horror atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, things are kind of bright and colorful so far. Maybe a little covered in blood, but
right.
Still, the childlike whimsy is still there.
It's still
beneath
there.
The bloodstains.
And I was even chased by a monster in that one, but you kind of can't even. Again, another thing that's inconsequential right there is a nice little jump scare. So there are things that are in the game that like certain death animations, not all of them. That one that I picked was probably the best death animation, one of them in the game. I shouldn't say the best one. It's not, but it's one of the best ones in the game. But it is definitely a game where the horror comes second and the puzzle platforming comes first.
Huh. Well, alrighty.
This game also, again, to get the mundane out of the way, it borrows a lot from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. If you ever played that game, as you can see, I've got my little deputy duck out here. It could do the photography flash. It could do the radar, a lot like your other your little satellite partner in Security Breach. You've got like the full sprint, full 360 runaround style. So we've kind of graduated back into amnesia territory as far as these games go. But the atmosphere, while it is hit or miss, and while the horror elements are rather light, I have to admit, Drix, I'll say the robust platforming system is rather fun.
It's where it's at. The parkour part was probably the most successful, or at least we've all seen Minecraft parkour videos, you know?
Right. Roblox parkour, Minecraft parkour. And it's funny, this game takes a lot of inspiration from those, I guess, lower tech, lower stakes style games that maybe, like you said, maybe thrive in Minecraft or another platform like Roblox. So where it's like a game light, right? This game actually takes a lot of cues from that, which is kind of funny, and but in practice, it isn't always smooth. In fact, Drix, I would say that this game is rather janky.
Ah, yes, a bit of jank in the soup there, huh?
Absolutely. Your slide in particular, you like out of a full sprint, and your full sprint itself is not so fast. You don't feel quick. It doesn't feel like you're really zooming. It's not like a Call of Duty sprint, right? Where your Call of Duty sprint is weighty, but you realize your character's moving like a fucking freight train. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he's got the booster on his back.
Yeah, exactly. It's not airy like Borderlands either. And it's it actually feels rather like a I would say a mid 2000s single player Unreal style or Quake 4 style title, where you're not moving too fast, but you're moving rather decisively. And it is kind of fast, but the speed isn't where the speed in the sprint is not where the true sense of speed comes from. It comes from the slide maneuver that you can do with the crouch button. Now, again, I played this on the PS5, so your mileage may vary, but I found the controls to be very responsive. And on the PS5, Drake, surprisingly, the haptic feedback was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, love that. Love when games come with that.
Yeah. And as you're seeing here in the B-roll, sometimes those, I guess we'll call them scene transition cutscenes, sometimes they're rather seamless because they go directly into chase scenes like this. This is the part where Finding Frankie truly shines. In these moments where you get those, where you're like threatened by the enemy and now I have to run away after like a boss encounter, right? Now it turns into a full-blown chase and it's seamless. It goes from like in-engine cutscene to a chase scene, and you're just like, holy shit, the boss is right there. I gotta get the fuck away from this guy. He's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? That is where Finding Frankie truly shines, where the tension actually is taken seriously and meshes with the mechanics. It feels good because it feels as though your broken, super broken 100-mile-per-hour slide isn't like completely breaking the game. And the other thing, Drix, and you're gonna see it right now in the B-roll, this game has no teeth. It's like these jump scares, these death animations. As you can see, the death animation on this, it's not very, the impact wasn't very weighty. The jump scare was rather telegraphed. It didn't get me the first time, and it never got me by the end. Again, where Finding Frankie really shines in the horror aspect is when it goes from like, and the best part of when it goes from an in-engine cutscene into a full-blown chase, Drix, is that unfortunately, all the impact in this game, when you're visualizing it, it feels rather light. There's no impact sounds. There's no haptic. The haptic, when it's good, it's good. But when it's not there, it's kind of just not there. Like,
ooh.
Yeah. So, and there is no haptic feedback on when you're on character death or when your character takes a bump. So nothing has
not
weight.
where it counts, huh?
Yeah, nothing has weight. The puzzles, they're pretty good, but as you're seeing here in the B-roll, there are also puzzles where it's kind of fucking aimless. I have no idea what to do. I got my deputy duck out here. He's a poor zombie. We're trying to scan, figuring out what the fuck to do. There's a big cereal box in the sky. I'm trying to pull it down just like I did in another room, but there's no indication on how to do that. Sometimes it's not apparent. I'm going to figure it out in the B-roll. Don't worry. But I'm telling you, Drix, there are times in this game where the jank really shows. It feels kind of aimless. The polish is honestly just not there. And again, the horror element itself is just that, a horror element. The focus is not on the horror, it's on the puzzle platforming, and you really feel it in the moments where it's really supposed to count, where you really feel like you should be scared, where you really feel like, and I guess that's ultimately right there, that critique. I'll back up for a second. That critique right there is what I'm trying to say, is that there are moments where I thought I should be scared.
Huh. Just missed opportunities, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, man, I could have been afraid. See, I figured it out, right? You see in the B-roll. But
yeah.
but no, there are a lot of those moments. There are a lot of moments where you just kind of you're like, man, this death animation could have been really cool. There is one good death animation. I'm not going to spoil it in the B-roll, because if you decide to play the game, it is a reward to see the death animation, as gruesome as that is. And you're like, wow, I didn't think that something like that could even exist. But, you know, and when the puzzles work like they're working right now in the game, you're going fast, you're trying to fucking tap these things and like eliminate them before the timer runs out. And then you'll see when I'm done with this obstacle, it moves again seamlessly into another obstacle. There's that 100-mile-an-hour dash for you, the slide.
Yeah.
But you know, you're seeing me like pop these little guys, and now the ring comes back, and this is where the game shines, where in the seamless puzzle platforming, and when the horror leverages the puzzle platforming, it's awesome and it comes together well. But it does it maybe 3 times.
Huh. All right.
So, Finding Frankie, we'll keep this one nice and short and sweet. Finding Frankie, guess what? If you like puzzle platforming and you kind of want a different, I guess, perspective on the genre, at least aesthetically, because God knows this game has no polish, but at least aesthetically, this works. You'll be going through these puzzles and you'll be satisfied with the obstacles put in front of you. When they relate to horror, it might be a little disappointing because you're going to be like, really? This is it? But
yeah, it's just a little wacky in the designs of the characters and items and stuff.
Yeah, the horror becomes rather pastiche and takes a backseat to the crazy high-octane puzzle platforming that really forms the backbone of Finding Frankie. I'm not a big speed run guy, so you're not going to. I'm not about to rate the game on how well it works as a speed run game. But here's one of the better parts of the game, as when it comes to horror. I'll show it off right here in the B-roll. But
yeah, not quite Counter-Strike surfing though.
No, but that's the thing, Drake. You can kind of. You're seeing me in the B-roll right here. I'm doing it sloppy, but I am schmoovin'.
We schmoovin'.
We were schmoovin', and this is one of the best parts of the game as in terms of horror that you're seeing right now. It is when these moments happen. Again, you saw another one earlier. It was like not one of the better ones, but it could show you the potential.
Oh yeah.
Little
bit of nightmare fuel.
Yeah, so when this game can bring it, it can bring it. But it doesn't bring it, like I said, it brings it maybe 4 times.
Yeah, not enough to bring home the gold in the horror parkour genre.
So with that, on that note, I will say in closing, truly, on reflection in Finding Frankie, on the note of parkour horror, I don't know how you make it work. I think you have to make it a sequence of, as I said earlier, like vignettes that lead to in-engine, like tense in-engine cutscenes that lead seamlessly into chase scenes. Maybe tone down the wild sliding physics.
Yeah, the beauty is in the transitions between those, the real music there.
Yeah, and for that reason, I don't think this game is a total dud. I actually think, again, if like a parkour, like platformer, these high-octane parkour platformers that you see on like Roblox and Minecraft, you know, if that's your jam and you want to see something really different but try to do the same thing, go for it. It's really good. This is going to be a good one.
If you want that to have a baby with Five Nights at Freddy's, then here's your shot.
Yeah, and you might like it. Who knows? But I think for everyone else, it's not going to be very compelling. Again, it's kind of janky. There's a lot of bugs. If you are anywhere seasoned at all in the 3D platformer genre, you're going to end up breaking puzzles and just trivializing entire sections of the game. Like, I kind of hint at it here in this B-roll specifically, is sliding through like 2 or 3 obstacles at a time. But like that happens a lot more than you might think, and it happens rather intuitively. But again, it's a high-octane puzzle platformer where the physics don't really matter, and at the end of the day, it is pretty fun to just slide around and go crazy.
Yeah, in the inflatable trampoline park of your nightmares.
And for that, I think I am going to give Finding Frankie a 3 out of 5. It's not going to be everybody's jam, very much far from it. But this is one of those games, if you see this game, like, Drix, if you see this game on sale on, like, PlayStation Network for, like, $5, right? Pick it up.
Yeah. Give it some hops and some jump scares.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? The horror might just hit you harder than it hits me.
Yeah. Luckily, you'll get to run real fast out of there.
Absolutely. But on that note, once again, Finding Frankie, 3 out of 5. Good concept. Tighten up the execution and focus more on that atmospheric chase, and you've got something really special. I think you could make something really out of this. Solid 3 out of 5.
Yes. Give it another shot, but bring it. Give it your all.
Yeah. Put a little bit more budget behind it, and you've got really something special. You could have this game really evoke a sort of paranoia that you haven't really had since, like, the Resident Evil 2 remake Mr. X kind of shit. So, like,
yeah.
if you could end up, like, going down that road, I definitely think that's a road that would work for something, even if you want to keep, like, the crazy high octane fucking, I don't care about physics, we're gonna go balls to the wall, right? Like, you can keep all that. Just make it so that, like, up the stakes and give me something real to fear, right?
Yeah. We don't mind a slide dash around here.